Hi, I'm Dr. Starrett from the Ready State, and today we're talking about the pleasant topic of DVTs, which is deep vein thrombosis, or a blood clot in the legs. Now, clearly, this is not ideal in any situation. And oftentimes, believe it or not, one of the sort of treatments for that is manual compression of the calves. We are in the hospital after surgery. We're not moving around very much. And so we get a lot of stasis of the blood system. We're not pumping, we're not moving, we're not loading. And so the hospital has figured out very early on, hey, we want to go ahead and slip on these boots and get some manual compression of the calves. And believe it or not, because the calves are like the second heart of the body, if we just squeeze the calves, we can actually kind of encourage a massive amount of venous return or blood flow moving through the veins back to the heart. Well, it turns out you have a DVT prevention system built into your H-wave. And all you have to do is put on the pads and get a solid calf contraction, and you too can keep that blood moving. So if you find yourself in a series of times where you're post-surgery, already have an H-wave, we know we can use it for on-demand pain relief and we can decongest the limb, but one of its best effects is that we can actually greatly limit the amount or the probability of having a DVT because we're getting so much calf movement. And that calf movement equals better calf contraction than just manually squeezing the outside. If I just manually squeeze your arm, that's one thing, but if I contract the actual musculature, I'm getting a ton of venous return, I'm moving the lymphatics, we're gonna have multiple bottom lines. This also tends to be useful not in just times of surgery and trauma, but it's also useful after big events. And so one of the things we're always looking at is, hey, if I've invested in an H-wave, how might I also use this thing and what are the applications for it? One of the big dangers we have is when people have surgeries and fly. Now we can pump while we're flying, and believe it or not, if we have big athletic events, most of the time when we see DVTs in our athletic community, it's because people have done a huge athletic event like a marathon and then jumped on an airplane. Well, guess what? We have a solution for that too. It's called pumping with your H-wave. So set up the pads on either calves, get a solid calf contraction, and pump away. And what we know is that ultimately for recovery, for sort of minimizing sort of downtime after surgery, that pumping and movement is the game. So if we can get your blood to flow and fluids to flow more effectively, we're less likely to have a DVT, and yet another reason why we're such fans of the H-wave.